Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back for the F1 round here in the Rwagnation League. We're back in Monaco, and I am super excited to be getting underway with this Grand Prix. I'm Ben Ragger McConnell, and joining me on the caster's desk is the one and only Jamie Amcas Elder. How are you doing?
I'm not sure, man. Yourself?
I'm not too shabby indeed. It's super hypey, and Zerd is currently sitting at the top of the driver standings with 76 points, with Nick Turn chasing him with just 67. It's looking pretty tight throughout the majority of this entire driver standings. Overall, there's literally only a few points between them. One race win could make a huge difference. And anybody could just jump up a few places, maybe even lose a couple of places if it goes out south. But Mercedes is currently top in the constructors' standings with 119 points, and Williams are really chasing them down with 107 points. Then it gets a little bit bigger with Renault sitting there in her third place at 56 points. But this is the track that we're going to be going through today. It's a very tough, tight track, as you can imagine. There is only one DRS zone, but it's not really going to make too much of a difference because it's just such a short runoff. And that's where you're going to be finding a lot of problems for a lot of the drivers. We've seen some incidents, not just in this league, but this one in particular in turn one. That's Beaker and Hazard. They are going to be racing today, so keep an eye out to see if they get on just fine or not. Thaig and Duxby had some situations through turn 17 and 18, but Duxby ended up losing the position to Thaig and made a beautiful overtake through the Rascas all the way around to the home Grand Prix. But it's time to get into the qualifying for this league, and immediately I'm going to chuck you under that bus. What's your top three?
Um. Well, that's the $1,000,000 question, isn't it? Marston G is quick, but hasn't. Well, he had 3 DNFs so far this season, and in every other race he's been second and first. So, is he just really unlucky? And maybe that's something that we need to look at for a race like this. If he's DNFing in all the other races, will he do well in this one? That's why I'm wondering. And it turns not doing too well. He's just backed out of his lap. It's going to be one of these races that it can be taken by anyone to qualify. You just got to be able to put a lap together without touching the wall. Definitely not how Ellington's doing it. Or Copy, they're both backed out of their lap. So I'm thinking Zerd might take pole from. I'll go Mizzo, and then I'm fancying Yonti.
All right, okay. I mean, Yonti's actually really impressed me recently. He's honestly been so much faster than I actually anticipated him to be. So I really don't know. In terms of strategy, the softs really do work here. So it's no surprise to me that they're all running the soft tires at the minute. Yonti's just set the fastest lap overall, and Mizzo's just beaten it immediately by full 5/10 of a second. I think for my prediction, I really don't know. It's so tight. It's so close.
Do you have your crystal
I'm going to have to
balls?
back Martin G. I think Martin G has been driving exceptionally quick. He had a rough race the other day. Yeah, there's no doubt about that. It was just yesterday, actually. He had a really rough race, but that wasn't on this track. This is a track that's seriously difficult to overtake with. I think it's going to be a Mercedes 1-2, just because we like to see a bit of variety every now and then. I mean, I'm gonna go with you on the Zed. Actually, I'm gonna go ZP1. I've just changed my mind. Mine G take P2, P3 though. I'm actually gonna give it to Maester.
Well, we'll find out if that works. Ellington is coming into bits. He's nudged the front wing down at the lowest hairpin and has taken damage. So, disqualified, invalidated. So that's what I'm looking for. On his first lap, had to come back in. We'll go for another one. He went for another one and then took the front wing off.
Well, Hazard's about to start a hot lap. Do you want to go for a lap rundown?
Yeah, we might as well. Not much of a home straight to talk about. And into first corner, San Devon, right-hander, tight, but a lot of space on the inside if you have to. Up the hill we go, up through Beau Rivage, turn 2, in towards turn 3, Massenet, the long left-hander, and keep it to the left as you throw it right into Casino. Avoid a little bump on the left-hand side as best you can into Mirabeau, the first of the Mirabeaus. And that's an overtaking opportunity if you're brave enough into the lowest hairpin, Grand Hotel hairpin, Casino hairpin. It's all named the same thing. It is the hairpin. Into Mirabeau Habas and then into Portier turn 8 and then power down as you come up towards the tunnel through turn 9. It is called Tunnel. Who would have guessed it? Then into the Nouvelle Chicane. 2 official corners in here, even though there's sort of 4. Left, right, right, left. And if you press select star, you get a bonus item. into turn 12 to back, and then into the swimming pool complex, left, then right, then left. Basically a fast Nouvelle chicane, with a lot more forgivingness to it. Through turn 17 Rascasse, then 18 and 19, but it has backed out of it.
Yeah, straight into the pits. So that's a big yikes there. I think he would have kept it going if he hadn't have actually ran a bit wide there and damaged his wing. But yeah, straight into the pits. Nothing more could be done on that one. But again, we've got lots of people out on the track, and I think this is going to keep happening. We're not going to be seeing what happened in the official F1 Grand Prix today, when a lot of people on the final laps
Spoilers.
didn't actually make it. Spoilers. Spoilers.
Don't hear what happened to qualify.
Yep, you stopped me. You stopped me. I will carry on. All right, so Blue, he has returned after taking a bit of a, I would call it a break, but it's actually because he's been on holiday and studying and whatnot. So he's actually, he's not really had the opportunity to drive. He is back though behind the wheels. I'm not expecting it necessarily to be a huge shot performance today. He's still obviously getting back into the groove of things again and prepping himself to be happy. He's already done a lap, a 1:10.861, which is actually really not bad. And for those of you that are wondering, Trap 96 is the replacement driver for, or the reserve driver, sorry, for Just Chillin'. And Trap 96 is actually Friday, for those of you who remember him from the community.
Change his name again.
I think so. I'm not sure if he's just done it just as a trap.
It could be. Yeltek, decent time, P3. I saw a big look up from him going to Nouvelle Chicane. Despite that, he still makes a very special time, so that's looking good from him. As early as you apparently need from Lizzo, so we're looking quite, well, I'm looking quite good. Who was your predictions again?
So I said Zerd, Martin G, and Meister, I think I said.
Okay, so if Yonti gets it up there now, and then there's no more qualifying, I get that. Because I had Zerd, Lizzo, Yonti. So I'm looking pretty at the moment, but it's still early doors.
You're quite quiet today. Is your microphone then moved further away? Yeah, just a tad. You're very quiet.
I have turned on a gating onto it. Well, I have turned the gating off now, actually, but I had gating on earlier because there's a bit of staticky on it.
Ah. Well, here comes Yonti coming up to the line. Actually, he's going to be going for a hot lap. He does improve. It's a 1:09.232, and you're looking pretty good.
Am I? Thanks. And it turned his back out with the full front wing this time. Invalidated his first lap. You think about a street circuit. Oh! That's double end plate failure for Enitern, and he's trying to get out of the way best he can.
I'm going to make a prediction right now.
Enitern DNFing in qualifying? And in race?
Nope, in race. In race.
Ooh. See, I looked at Bombers and gone, Bombers is very quick, but this track does not scream race on me with a controller. It screams get a wheel and just feed it through the corners. You make small mistakes on here, and they don't turn out small mistakes. But I was going to speak quickly about invalidation of laps. This track is not one you think of as a street circuit that you can invalidate on. But the Nouvelle Chicane is so easy to do. You just get it ever so slightly wrong, invalidate. And then the swimming pool complex, you get it slightly wrong, invalidate. That's it. Those are the only real places you can invalidate. Yes, turn 1 has the opportunity as well, but you must make a huge mistake to invalidate into there.
It's easier than you think, weirdly, because the reason why I say that is turn 1 is scary. Turn 1 is absolutely terrifying. If you brake just a little bit too late, there's no sort of like runoff area. There's a wall, and it will kill you. And that's the scary part of this entire track, is that there's walls everywhere, and they will happily kill you, and won't even say sorry about it. And that's ultimately what is going to be going through every driver's mind as they approach turn 1, especially if they're trying to do any sort of overtaking maneuver. Which, I mean, personally, I wouldn't recommend it, because it's just impossible. But now these guys obviously want to make up places, and they're going to try that, and they'll try whatever they can do to get that. Yeah,
Monaco. Here, let's race 150 miles an hour towards a wall, and hope you turn in time. That's the F1 in a nutshell, really. But at least there is a bit of runoff in turn 1, but you have to go well off the racing line, down to the left, and it makes a complete mess of everything. Trying to avoid things. It's one of these tracks that we love coming here. The spectacle is beautiful. Everything surrounding the glitz and the glamour of Monaco is beautiful. However, the racing isn't beautiful here. These online races will come down to, did you touch your wing on that wall? No, you might win the race. Real F1 comes down to, are you in front? Yes, you were going to win the race. We
Yeah,
saw it
that's it.
this year and last year. We had last year, Danny Rick had the kinetic energy engine part go. He was down like a car, a small family car, wasn't he? And still, no one could pass him because there's just nowhere to pass for the F1, the official F1 drivers.
Oh.
This year we had Lewis on dead tyres. Was able to just sit out in front and go, "You're not coming anywhere near me." That's the biggest problem we have with this track for the drivers. It's a lovely track to come to, but it just doesn't create racing.
Oh, a retirement. That's Blue who's retired. I didn't see where that was, but he was actually not that far ahead Mizzo, I believe. So I'm going to keep an eye out and see if Mizzo can spot him. There he is. Yeah, that's on the exit of the tunnel. I think he actually went wide into the wall and then buried it. So well, that's a big oof. That's Blue out of the race. So we're down now to 19 drivers in the qualifying session. Remember, for those of you that are new to this, we don't have Q1, 2, and 3. We have one session of qualifying. It's an 18-minute session, so obviously we've only got 6 minutes 20 remaining. And obviously the drivers are going to be really pushing themselves at the very last second to go for it. Now, this track is a very unique track in the fact of when it comes to qualifying. Your best time to get out, you want to get out before everyone else. You want to have as much clear track as you can. As we saw earlier, there was a lot of cars that were all just slumped up together, especially going through the carousel. It just didn't work out very well for them, and they ended up really tight and stuck together. Damage was caused as a result of it. I think Slapping and Floppy got caught up in it, and yeah, you want to try and come out around about. You want to be on the track around about the sort of 3-minute mark.
Yeah, I mean it is a very quick lap, and again that comes back to the issue we have is 20 or 19 cars all trying to vie for the same piece of tarmac. You don't want to have another car in front of you. It will just take away any downforce you've got through the corners and make an absolute mess of any hopes you've got. Yes, okay, it's going to help in the straights, but that is nothing compared to what you're going to lose in the corners.
So Yonti coming up to the line now, doesn't improve. He's actually 4/10 slower, so something clearly went wrong for him in that lap. But still, he's currently on the top 3. Yolta, there he is. Hello. I've been singing his praises for a while. I mean, you and I, we both commentate for the AOR League, and we've seen how fast he can be when he's got a lot of practice in his belt. Here he is. A 109.008 is where he sits currently. Yes, he is only 0.08 of a second faster than Zerd, but I honestly, there was a time and place where I'd have said I don't think Yolta would have actually ever been faster than Zerd, and now he's up there and he's just beat him.
I believe he's the championship leader in F3 as well, so he's doing well. Just the ball with Zerd, he's up by 10th, but little nudge of the wall there. My voice is going.
He's got no damage there. He's still going strong. And it might actually be. Oh, that's not how you want to take that exit. I think he's lost a fair bit of time there. Although, having said that, he's only just marginally slower.
Now he's going to get back to the pits. He's got 4 minutes left. He should have plenty of time, but it's not going to be a slow-paced in-lap. He's just going to absolutely pin the throttle to get back. So he's got plenty of time to get back out again. If you want to leave with 2 minutes, then he'll be bang on time. But let's have a look elsewhere.
Yeah, Rainbow's currently on a lap at the minute, straight into the pits. That is.
Ooh,
now,
that's interesting.
Yeah, it was an interesting entry to the track, to the pits there, wasn't it? It wasn't quite normal. Now, normally we start singing and dancing around about this point because we're getting to the calm before the storm. Except there's not really going to be one in this race, purely because you'll get the drivers that are going to be coming out early. So Yawn, for example, Hazard, the Shadows and Dust, and Haride. They know this is the time to be out on the track and get some laps in whilst everyone else is in the pits. The downside is those that are still in the pits, they are going to get the track in a better condition. It's just whether or not they're all going to be battling with each other and seeing how close they can get to each other's bumpers before they knock each other into a wall. And that, you could see them get landed with some penalties either during the qualifying or post-qualifying / post-race when the stewards get involved. And remember, that is a something that this league has that not a lot of, in fact, I don't think any league has actually, is we have live stewarding. So the stewards will be talking to us throughout the race. And yeah, we'll see how we get on.
Let's have a look at Bormels. He's coming to the pits. Should have enough time to just change on another set and go. It's going to be tight for him. Sharon Dust is on a fly. He's got Marco ahead. Marco is out the way, so Marco's there. Where is Falsetti? Falsetti's sliding up towards Rasikas. And is he coming in? He's staying out. He's staying out. What's he going to do? It's going to be a 1:10.24 to. It's just slower by 2/10.
So the stewards wanted to just test that the stewarding notification is working. It is, I can confirm. They said stewarding is live, so that's good news. So yeah, Falsetti, it's interesting actually. He's struggling way more than I expected him to. This is actually a track he's really quite good at, except on this occasion where he's not. He's going to be resetting himself to go for another push, there's no doubt about it, but still tons of cars out on track now.
I'm on board with Shadows and Dust. Can you go on board with them and check what time it says in his top right corner for me?
56
no outlap.
seconds. It did say 56 seconds there.
Does it say outlap as well for you?
It does now, yeah.
Okay. Sloppy has retired. I don't know if that was a crash or just that will do, donkey, that will do. But he's coming fourth, and Zerd has just come out of the pits with 1:20 on the clock. He's going up through Beau Rivage now, and he's going to be a bit tight for time here.
Yeah, it'll be tight, but it will be in a situation where he can absolutely gun it, providing that the track is clear. I think he's done the right thing. He's got the track in its most green state, as we like to call it, its most optimal state.
Green's bad.
No, green is good. Green means it's ready.
Green means it's dirty. It's not good for racing. Green is when the rain has come down, the circuit's green. You don't want to race on it when it's green. You want it rubbered in. Green's bad.
I think. Well, we'll have to confirm that later. No, I think we'll confirm it later. But Martin G is currently out there at the minute as well. He's also going through the tunnel right now. Actually, you got your full yellow flags everywhere. That car's getting out of the way. Martin G cuts that corner quite extensively. I think he might have actually got. Yeah, he did. He got invalidated. So P8 is where he's going to sit unless he can cross the line in time. And I think he'll be going for it. He's got a chance to. I think he should.
Yeah, I'm just on board with Yeltek, who's just behind. He's going through the swim pool complex now. End turn goes fast as he's finally put laps together. Yeltek nudges the wall as he kept it. He's got traffic of Martin G ahead. 10 seconds left of the session. Yeltek backs out. He says that'll do. He's not going any better. Did he get in time? He did.
Stewards have just been informed me that Copy is under investigation for cutting the chicane on purpose. So I'm not sure if that was to get out of the way or what, but that could be serious trouble for him there. But anyway, here we are. The time is already counted out. Yolta is not going to improve. Neither is Hazard, Copy, Falsetti, Shadows and Dust, or Friday.
Yolta's coming out to the line. New P1. P2. Ooh, it's close though. It is close.
It is very close. Here's Mizzo as well. He's also in the same situation. He is slightly faster. I think he's fast enough to get in front of Zerd. He's fast enough to go P2, a 1:08.952, and then Nickturn, who looks like he's untouchable, at least at the minute, is now missed his chance. No, he's crossed the line. He's going to go 1:09.220. Zerd is really looking like the only other driver that might be able to beat it, unless Martin G is able to nail it, and I have not yet looked at him because I'm staring very firmly at Zerd as he comes sprinting up to the line. Is he going to be able to make it? It's going to be no improvement.
No, well off. That's a shocker.
Martin G, I think he's got this. Martin G might actually have this. He goes P1. Oh! He's done it. A 1:08.833. That's exactly what he needed. This might be the confidence boost that this guy needs. He's been really sort of hard on himself unnecessarily. He's got the pace, he's got the skill and the potential to do it. He just needs to have the opportunity. And now he takes pole position here on a track where pole position means more than anything else if you can get it.
Yeah. Yeah, it does.
Right. Here is the driver's rundown. So Martin G, as we just talked about, he's just taken pole, albeit barely, by 1/100th of a second from Nickturn, who's set to P2. Mizzo in P3 with Yonte in P4. Yolta is P5 with Zerd P6. Sloppy is P7. Maester P8. Gooby P9 with Hazard rounding out the top 10. Rainbow is the best of the rest. Beaker in 12th. Yawn in 13th with Buemos in 14th. Copy 15th. Falsetti 16th. Shadows into 17th. Marco 18th. Blue 19th and Haride in 20th. But I want to point out the top 14 drivers are all within 9/10 of each other overall. That's crazy. That's insane. I mean, you know, we think, oh, it's going to be really exciting racing throughout. There's going to be loads of overtaking opportunities. It's Monaco. This is a really tough track to overtake on. It doesn't mean they're not going to try. We've seen it in other leagues that they're definitely going to give it a good go, but it's just so hard to execute, especially if you want to avoid getting in trouble with the stewards.
Yeah, I think the stewards are going to have to be a leniency coming into this. It's going to be a case of yeah, okay, you didn't damage the other car. It's fine, type sort of situation because you you have to be aggressive to overtake here. If you're lenient and just going, oh, I can't get through there, I can't get through there, you're never going to overtake. You have to go.
Yeah.
There's a gap there. Going.
Yeah.
As long as the other guy comes off without damage, I think it's just be let slide. They may give him warning saying, look, you've been a little bit too aggressive, just calm it down a smidge.
Well,
But yeah.
speaking of which, the stewards have been in touch regarding Copy, and they've just advised that Copy is going to be needing to report to the stewards office after this race. I think it's just going to be a firm warning. I think is all we're probably going to be hearing from it. Ultimately, you know, it depends what it was for. I didn't see it myself. I don't know if you caught it, but
No.
I imagine it was purely to try and get round faster so he can get in time for another lap.
Yeah, I mean, they do that. It's one of the... It's again... You hear me complain about things I absolutely hate in online racing. That is one of the things I absolutely hate. I think it should be outlawed in every single league race. Because if you've not got time, you've not got time. You should be cutting corners to get round and do your time. If you messed up, excuse my French, sorry, or Monaquese.
Monegasque.
That's
Monegasques?
Monegasques. I don't know. They haven't got language. They speak French. Then that's your own downfall. It's the similar situation as you hear me complaining so often about cars letting other cars through when they get into DRS points because we're coming towards the end of the race and they want to take the position back. I really hate seeing that.
So quickly, 1, 2, 3, go.
Martin G, Yonti, Yoltek.
God, you literally nicked my top 3. That was exactly what I was going to go for. No, it's fine.
No, I'm
I
fine
think
to change it. Mercedes
on,
1-2 followed by Yonti. There you go.
Okay, that's insane.
You called me on it.
That means that Zerd would have to somehow find a magical way around 4 cars. I mean, the thing to count on is that Nick and Mizo are likely going to get penalties. They do that most races, and I think that's been their downfall overall. Yonti and Yolta have actually done a good job of keeping it clean overall, but this is where it matters. 39 laps around this beautiful legendary track, and it's going to all be who can get the better start between Nick Turn and Martin G. Realistically, you don't want to be trying a sort of crazy dive, but I think Nick Turn's going to have to do something if he wants to get this position. We are all lights on now. It's when they go out, we'll be getting underway with this Monaco Grand Prix, and immediately there is no waiting around for this one. Martin G gets a beautiful start. There's nowhere for him to be losing out those positions that Nick Turn can't get through here. Loads of cars going side by side, no contact overall so far. I'm just currently checking the back of the grid, and everyone has got through turn 1 beautifully.
Well, that's one of the easiest corners to try and get through. It's going to be the hairpins where you're going to see some real nudging going on. You basically stop at some points because it's just so tight. There's damage back there. Definite damage back in the midfield. I saw a Toro Rosso wing, I believe, go flying. And there's a...
Oh, 1 second, because Jorn and Beaker have actually come together and they're reversing onto the track as well, getting people in the way. That's both of them falling right down the order. I don't think it was anything more than a mistake from one of the drivers and getting collected straight afterwards. But Beaker definitely has got some damage, and so does Jorn there, so that's not good news at all.
Yeah, I thought I saw a Yeltek flying in the air as well at one point over the back of Zerd, but that could have just been a desync or just a glitch. But yeah, there's definitely some damage back there towards the rear of the pack. Beaker down 6 places so far, and he's probably going to be slinging this one in bits. One thing I haven't looked at actually is tyres. Interesting mix there.
It is. The top 10 obviously all went on softs because that's what they qualified on, but those outside of it, there's only 2 drivers that have actually gone for the soft tyres. One of which is Jon, the other one is Marco. Interestingly, the 2 sister Red Bull teams.
Yeah, I think there's a little bit of team orders there at Renault as Blue is through on wobbles. Wobbles obviously on hard, Blue on mediums. Team orders, let the guy on softer tyres get ahead of you. I think there had to be team orders there as we got 3 pit stops. 4 pit stops. Did Sharon Dust come in as well?
Let's have a look. Stops. Only 1 person has stopped. So yes, these 3, that's it.
Okay. Sharon Dust for some reason showing 0 laps on his Rainbow, sorry. I'm getting confused.
Oh, no, you got yellow flag sector 2. Let's quickly just take a look at that. It's gone already, so whatever it was has been cleared seriously quickly. Hazard is in 10th place now, chasing after Gooby. Gooby's managed to keep a pretty good solid position so far. He's actually just sat exactly where he was. Sloppy is down a place, Yolta's down a place. Like I said, Beaker down 4, Rainbow's down 7. So is Jorn. So both Toro Rossos really having a mare of a time.
Yeah, Zerd has got 1 place closer towards my prediction for the Mercedes 1-2. He is hovering on the back of Yonti at the moment as Edmonton goes fast of everyone, as DRS has been enabled. Only one DRS straight. It is a whole 500-metre long straight. And don't expect to see too much action on that unless they get a driver champions out the final corner, or the guy in front gets a little nudge on the wall at the final corner.
And I think
yeah,
ultimately
yellow
that's going to come down. Yeah, I wonder where are these yellows coming from?
Well, these are the race leaders had it. So another yellow in sector 2. Maybe it is going into the first mirror race. That's what's causing it. Sector 2 runs from turn 5 down the whole way to the swimming pool complex. So it's not easy to work out where it is now.
No,
Sector 3 is easy.
tough one. Back again there, but we'll just have to ignore it at least for the meantime, unless we see somebody suddenly DNF from the session, or at least drop a few places. But Martin G leading the race, did a beautiful last second attempt in qualifying. It looked like his qualifying hopes were going to be shot into the ground at one point, but he managed to just get round again and go for it and got himself, albeit barely, ahead of it Nick Turn. And that's ultimately been the story of the race so far. Lap 3, DRS has been enabled. Now on lap 4, Buenos gets a 3-second time penalty. And we've got a pit stop for Meister.
Yeah, and that's kind of helped Sloppy. Sloppy was under threat from Gooby, even with DRS, but Sloppy also had it because he was up close to the rear of Meister. So that's kind of helped out on that front. Gooby is still there on the back of the Ferrari driver. I'm wondering if Gooby is going to try and send one down the inside up here. No, he's just not close enough this time. This is one of the places you see that overtake, because people trying to send it down the inside. There is a chance to do it there, and we see, I'd probably say about 40% of the overtakes are into that corner on this track.
Yeah.
Not a lot into turn 1.
Yeah. I mean, turn 1's a rough area to try. It's very much a gamble, and I think once you go for the attack in turn 1, you've signed an agreement there that says I'm happy to take the 50-50 chance of me losing this, but it is what it is. The Rwagnation League stewards have been in touch and informed us that there is an investigation underway for Yawn, which I can only assume is the situation that happened with him and Beaker on the opening lap.
Yeah, we didn't see it. I think Shadow Dust is a little bit decent. Apparently he's 1 lap down.
Yeah, this happens quite regularly for him actually. I'm not sure why, but yeah, where he is physically right now, P16 is his actual respective position on the track. We just don't know what his gap is. We do know that he has just got himself a 3-second time penalty. That's not good. Copy is off into the wall. That's turn 1 there. That's exactly what I was on about, how it can easily kill you. Fossetti just Tokyo drifted around there. I don't know how he managed to pull that one off, but at one point he was almost at a full 90 degrees to the right, and he just caught it, snapped it back around again, and now he's still away up there in 14th place. He is 2.5 seconds behind Beaker though, so something's not working for him.
Shame I missed it. I would like to see that open track. I'm busy watching Gooby trying to hunt down the back of Sloppy in the Ferrari. He's hovering around 3/10, but he's just not getting what he needs, and I think it's going to come down to potential undercuts here when that time comes. But that could be a fair bit away from now. Racing Lee's still quite close. That was a cut by Sloppy.
So, Nickton, it's strange. It's really strange. And Nickton's gone for 0. He's underfueled himself as per usual. And I've just seen him not even trying to get a good exit through the final corner. It's like he's happy with the current situation. He wants to be running in the air of Martin G. He's happy just following him around, applying the pressure as is required. Martin G is using a fair bit of his ERS, but he's not really having to worry too much. He's actually just cruising around, and Nick Turn isn't finding an opportunity to get through. But this is going to be testing the mindset that Martin G has. Is he able to keep his composure, keep his lines nice and steady, and just remain consistent throughout the entirety of this race, especially with the fact that Nick Turn is just right here, right behind him?
Well, the thing going for Martin G is he could probably stick it in 0 the entire way around this lap and have no problems whatsoever. As Gooby's under one down the inside, he's just nudged as Sloppy got a 3-second penalty. Gooby takes the place, doesn't give it back. I think that might be a case of possibly should have given that one back to Sloppy. He's the reason Sloppy got that 3-second penalty. I had a really bad camera angle, unfortunately, for that one, but hopefully that'll be sorted as Yotek's in and so is Sloppy. front laps on these softs? Is that what you predict?
I think they've come in for wing rather
Yes.
than anything else.
Was
Yota
that
is also in the same
cars
shoes.
advantage?
So hards to the end now is doable. The hards will actually almost do the entirety of the race, so he could take this all the way through. The one thing to worry about is that the hards are insanely slippy on this track. Having done it myself recently, I hated it every second of it. It was just not fun at all. But one thing we missed was that Nick Ten got himself a 3-second time penalty, and something else to update you on is the stewards have been in touch, and have informed us that Jorn is no longer in being investigated. No further action has been decided.
Yeah, I think when you drop down to 19th, they just go, yeah. And it
Yeah.
sucks to be you, but yeah, we can't really punish you now. You're last.
Yeah, I mean, he injured himself more than he injured anyone else, really, and that ultimately, I think, is the factor of it. I don't think it was. I mean, knowing Jon, it doesn't strike me as like he did it intentionally at all. It entirely makes me think he just made a mistake, couldn't catch it. Beaker got caught up in it, and yeah, that's the thing. Bear in mind that in the Rwagnation League, we don't have ghosting on, so when it comes to tracks like this and like Baku, for example, no ghosting means very likely going to be a lot of collections going on.
There definitely was some ghosting though happening after the incident.
It is turned off, but I have seen it myself a few times where even the game still goes, yeah, but he's deliberately in the way, so ghosting is
Maybe
enabled.
it's because it's Monaco. They just go, yeah.
Yeah.
On board 9G, just give the walls a little kiss every now and again, just making sure they're still there. So we'll soon find out.
Has he got damage?
No, but he's just
No.
nudging them. He's just sort of testing the walls, just making sure they're hard enough, just in case I want to go into a full tilt later.
See, there's a bit there, and that area's just gone through there. If you... Oh, okay, that gave me a mild heart attack. Okay, we just calmed the heart rate back down again. I thought Martin G just lost it into the wall there, but no, he's still okay. So yeah, I've been told that the yellow flag that keeps appearing in Sector 2 is actually just a game bug. There is no issues at all, so we're just going to have to ignore that pretty much from here on out. Martin G, though, gets a 3-second time penalty. He's now equal with Nickturn. And Nickturn got it first. Not that it makes any difference, because it's still going to equal the same, but it does suggest that Martin G is in a pretty good position overall. If Nickturn's done it earlier, likelihood is he's going to do it again. But Martin G needs to keep it clean and consistent overall.
But he has broken that DRS window. It's only just broken at the moment, and now it's not. That's how close it was. It was just a case of break slightly later than you're into it. So, yeah, we're right on the edge of it. Eniton needs to step it up if he wants to hang around back. But I think the problem is Eniton's trying to do fuel saving here. So he's just losing it at certain points. Now he's outside the DRS. He's going to lose even more. I think Mizzo might start coming into it a little bit, but there's one thing to catch up, there's nothing to pass it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's been the story of the entirety of this race so far, is that, oh, that's a mistake though, Gooby. Going into the Nouvelle chicane, just couldn't keep it together. I mean, did jump the curb a fair bit, but I don't think he got any sort of warning, or he definitely didn't get a penalty at least, so... Gooby's still sitting comfortable in P6, but Hazard is all over the back of him, and Gooby's going to be feeling the pressure as Yonti and Zerd have come in.
Yep, I don't think this is for damage, I think this is just the genuine pit stop. It is. So who's coming out first? Zerd is ahead. No, he's not. Yonti's still ahead. That's what I was looking at. So Yonti's still keeping position on Zerd for now. They're going to come out and start fighting. Where is Chavis and Dust? He's miles away. So they'll be clean.
Yeah, they're good now. They've got an open track. Buemels is a little bit further up the hill than these two, so they will eventually catch up to the back of him, especially with the fact that Buemels is on hards. Like I said earlier, hards are slippery as hell, but Buemels has the alpha strategy in that he has got the opportunity to go onto the soft tyres. The only thing to think about, though, again, like you said, it's one thing to catch up to someone, but it's another thing to pass them, even if you are on much softer tyres and much grippier tyres. I just don't think it's going to work. Oh, there's another one.
I was just about to talk about Eniton. I think he's got to be on his way into the pits. He's just dropped a whole over a second this lap. And
Has he got damage?
that was another penalty there. He's driving, yeah, he's got front right damage. No, front left,
front
sorry.
left, sorry. Yeah, end plate's gone, but Oh,
Yeah,
that's not a situation you want to be in then, Mr. Nickton. Martin G's there, he's in the pits, and he's going to be much faster out. I think, especially the fact I think Nickton's going to need to get a wing replaced. It is looking likely that I might be right about my prediction that
there's
Nickton
Yonti.
might actually DNF this race.
Just on board with Yonti. He's coming around the final corner now with Bommels just ahead. Where are they all going to come out? They're going to come out right in front of him. Martin G's just there. Yonti's going to come around the outside. Who's going to take the lead? Up the hill. Marsici only just, but here comes Yonti up the hill behind him. Oh, squeezed into the barrier. Ooh. To say the
It
least.
was a little bit spicy, though, wasn't it? Just a touch.
Yeah.
Yonti managed to just keep himself out of trouble. No damage there. I don't know if that will get investigated or not. I think it's one of them ones that's very much on the limit. It's so narrow through there. It's going too wide up that hill. It is reliant on the other driver not doing a direct line up the hill. Do you know what I mean? That's kind of the area where it's going to be really tough. So now, Yonti is just behind Martin G. It's now Yonti realistically net P2 and Yon's out.
Yeah, 6 to 3. That's probably. That looks. I think it might be a pit.
That was
label
pit.
time. It looks like
Yeah.
that, doesn't it? Unless it's off the final. Yes, it is pit. And just change tyres. Yeah.
Interesting. So not happy with his race then. That's bad news bears, but Martin G already on the back of Buemmels. This isn't really going to be anything to shout about because realistically Buemmels is behind him anyway. The issue is that Martin G is going to be held up as a result of this. And all it's doing, look, is back in the pack, back up again. Martin G, Yonti and Zerd are all really close to one another. Gooby's in the pits now. He's going to be switching to the medium compound tyres. Now, Martin G needs to get the drive. Buemmels has ran a bit deep there into the corner. There's still no opportunity here. Martin G might be getting a taste of his own medicine earlier. Look how much pace he's got. Buemmels is just holding him to rights. There's nowhere for him to go. This is going to be purely down to who can get the slip down the inside. I've seen this a few times where somebody's gone for a move and it's not worked.
Ooh, I thought he was going to send it. Bommels goes in deep. Doesn't lose. No one loses anything through that. My jeez. Oh, okay. That was a bit of jumping. I thought that was him going over the back of Bommels there, but it wasn't. So Bommels still in the lead. I think Martin G is going to take it down the inside into the Nouvelle chicane. He's right on the back of him. Bommels can't do too much about this. Martin G's trying to go around the outside. Interesting manoeuvre.
Oh, he's done it. He's free. But now this is crucial though. Think about how crucial this is because Martin G is free now and Yonti is not. He's going to be stuck behind Buemmels at least for a little while. We don't know where he's going to be able to make the overtake happen. Buemmels didn't let up at all when it came to Martin G. He's made a big lock up there though going into it and you can see already the slowdown that's happening. Buemmels is holding back Yonti. Yonti's being chased as well by Zerd and Mizo. I couldn't get my words out there but he's trying. And honestly this is about to get spicy now.
Yeah, in fact, it's all over the place. I'm not sure what half can afford. The trap just lost close to the Yelta, so maybe that's something to do with it. Where's Zerd? He's hovering the back off Yonti at the moment. But this is kind of working out for Blue a little bit. If Rommel can back him up in a bit, when Blue pits, he can come out ahead. He's just left. Oh, he's retired. Oh dear.
Yeah, he retired. So he retired in the pits. Basically, he sped into the pit lane, and that as a result. Whoa! Did I just? I think Zerd may have just got wing damage. It looked like he got caught onto the back of Yonti and then lifted up into the air. He's lost a lot of time suddenly. I can't get a camera shot where I can see his front wing. There it is. No, he's fine. He hasn't got any front wing damage. Oh, there's issues going on there through this Nouvelle chicane. Buemmels gets a penalty. That was Yonti trying to get down the inside, and that immediately made it really tough for Yonti to be able to do anything because Buemmels held him tightly. Nothing further could happen. Martin G is under investigation for crossing the pit exit line. That might actually be something to worry about.
Oh, yes, and that's normally a slam dunk. I mean, if you cross the exit line, you've crossed the exit line. It's not a case of you're under investigation for it. We're basically telling you you're under investigation, but you did it. So he needs to be careful. He needs to start putting away as he already is. He's already got 4-second lead. Yonti going past Bommels. They're going up the hill through Beau Rivage. Yonti, beautiful. Don't often see many overtakes through there. But he's done it.
Well, we saw what happened when he tried to do it earlier on Martin G. It didn't work out. He got stuck, almost buried into the wall. Zerd's sending it. That's a tough line to run through, but he's done it side by side. Buemmels is really holding him tight. Buemmels has still got the tight inside line. Zerd's going to try and run around the outside. He actually has a better turning circle than Buemmels, but somehow he's done it. He's ahead. Buemmels has lost another place, and crucially, that's 2 places that Buemmels has lost, and nobody's had any damage as a result.
That was a great move there by Zerd, taking advantage of that. Mizo's could have come through as well. Mizo's come through. That was a good overtake. Hizzy made it though. Buemmels trying to get a good drive off, but didn't get the drive that he wanted. Beaker, more penalties, more woes for Beaker. He might have won season 1, but he's not looking good in season 3.
Yeah, or 2 for that matter. He only just managed to get through into this one. Martin G's on the back of Blue. This is actually interesting because Blue is running really slowly. He's trying to hold the inside line. It's going to be really tight. Oh, I thought he was going to get pit maneuvered there. So Martin G manages to make the turn 1 round the outside work beautifully. Fossetti is retired from the session, and Blue is now down into P2. And Martin G looks like he's just going to run away with this. Touch wood, I've not just jinxed him, but he's looking good.
That's normally what you do, isn't it? Just jinx the drivers.
I have to touch wood afterwards, otherwise they end up retiring in the next lap.
There's not enough
really
wood
annoying.
for you to touch after jinxing people.
Or Beaker.
Beaker's about to retire.
Yeah, 100%.
He's
still going there.
He does. He's just been in the pits and he's already got damage. That's why he's driving like he is. He's just bringing some.
Yeah, he's just driving to the pits. He's giving up. Yeah, this is Beaker retiring 100% into the pits. And retired. There you go.
Well, at the end of the day, if you look at Trapp or Horide, he may be 16th in a moment, but he's still in the race. People dropping out left, right and centre. He can still pick up points, and there's a nice battle going on ahead of him for 13th, 14th and 15th, or 12th, 13th, 14th, 15th. So if they have a tangle, and 1 or 2 drop out, then he'll move up again, and yeah, he might be 30 seconds behind the pack, but he's still in the race. If you don't buy a ticket, you won't win the raffle. Simple as that.
Yep, it's true. I mean, he is down, like you said, down in 16th place, but he only takes one slight mistake. Like you can see now, Meister going down the inside. That's Marco. I think he just let him through there. Didn't have the tyres to fight with him. Didn't want to fight with him on it at all. And Meister just shoots off all of a sudden. Marco really having a rough time right now. We've got yellow flags everywhere, according to the notification in the top left. I don't think we can take it as gospel at the minute.
I'm ignoring it. I don't know how much he's been caused by shadows and dust, because he's obviously slightly decent for everything, so he may be causing some of these flags by just being decent. It's annoying and confusing. I'm just ignoring it. Just ignore it.
Yeah.
If
I think we have to.
Then
1 second. Look up at the front of the grid. Yonti has a Zerd chasing him, and he's also chasing Blue. Similar situations we saw earlier. This time he's behind a different Renault driver. It's Blue that's trying to hold everyone up. Ultimately he's doing the right thing. He's fighting for his own race. He is racing for position realistically. And Yonti's trying to go around the outside. It was what Marty G did earlier on Blue, but Blue's learned his lesson from last time. And this time we're going to have to see Yonti doing it again. It's going to be side by side all the way up the hill, and he's managed to make it. Zerd got through as well.
Beautiful drive by Zerd, taking advantage of that. And that's Yonti. He's done that twice so far. He nearly did it 3 times, once on Martin G. Great driving for Yonti. I don't think I've ever seen Mizzo get up there yet.
Mizzo's going round the outside of the carousel. He's done it. Blue has given him a lot of space. He knows that that's it, really. I can't really contest this. I have to let them go. And he's doing it. He's just taking his own race. 16 laps he's done so far on these mediums. He's going to go from mediums to softs. I can guarantee it.
Yeah, we've had another retirement in pit lane. That would be Yeltek. He says enough is enough, and again, Trapp moves up one more closer to points.
Although he's got a penalty.
It doesn't matter. Don't matter about penalties. He just needs to finish.
Yeah, that's true.
But I want to talk about Yonti quickly. That overtake up the hill. I've watched so many Grand Prix or Formula esports Grand Prix. I don't think I've ever seen anyone try that, unless it's a really slow back marker. He has the audacity to not do it once, but twice, and not against slow drivers. He did Rommel's, one of the fastest drivers we've got here, and Blue. Again, another pretty darn quick driver. He just nearly did it on Martin G. If Martin G didn't cover him off, I think Yonti might have had it.
Yeah, 100%. And that's the thing. That one move there was a very defining move overall, because if Yonti had managed to get past Martin G through that overtake, Martin G wouldn't be in P1 right now. It'd have been so hard, and Yonti is fast. He's currently not fast enough to keep up with Martin G, granted, but that's mainly because he's been held back by both of the Renaults. Keep an eye out for the gap, though. It's 5.7 seconds as it stands right now between him and Martin G. It's just whether or not he's going to be able to just fly off and catch him up.
I think Copy's about to retire. He doesn't have any front wing damage, but yeah, he's coming into the pits.
penalties galore. And he sped into the pit lane as
Yep.
well. And
Simons.
there it is. So that's one more position gain for Trap.
And I mean, you watch me when I drive races. I'm terrible, but I do finish some of the races at the start by doing this. I just sit at the back and just go, yeah, you guys just crash out. I'll just get a point. Don't care.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's not great, but points are point at the end of the day. In a league race, that's what matters, just getting a points. And what do points mean?
Prizes, and that's
Hooray.
something that Mace is trying to hunt down right now, which is Gooby. He's trying to hunt down that 1 point prize. Gooby making a mistake going into the Nouvelle chicane again. This is not the first time I've seen him do that. Locks up going into it, and that's cost him a fair bit. So Meister is still not able to capitalize on it though. Can't seem to make a way around him, even though Gooby is on the harder compound tire. But again, it's just such a narrow track. It's just such a difficult area to make that move. Although it wasn't an issue for Yonti earlier when he did that on Buemos, and Mizzo is looking to get onto the back of Zerd. Zerd's made a mistake somewhere, and that's actually cost him a fair bit as he's now lost that DRS gap to Yonti.
Yeah, he's hovering around there. I mean, DRS gap isn't all that important. One thing more important than that is your end plates. If Zerd's nudged end plate, then he'll be system duck. And he hasn't yet. I say a system duck. He's like a system duck in concrete. It doesn't move very easily.
Yeah.
I like that analogy. I might use that again.
Oh, Meister is almost running into the back of Gooby there. Still holding it together and still right there on the back of him. But if he gets a good exit through here, he might actually be able to send it. He is actually in a really good solid position. Hasn't chosen to go for mode 4, so he's seemingly happy by running behind Gooby. Isn't looking like he's trying to actually push at all, although he's all over it. I think he's just trying to trick Gooby into making a mistake and DNF in his own race, whereas Hazard is on the back of Buemos. We saw what happened earlier when Yonti was on the back of Buemos. He managed to make an overtake up the hill. Hazard hasn't been able to do it, but he's going to go for a full send here. This is going to be a tough one. He gets a little bit of a squeeze there from Buemos. Buemos is holding him. Managed to defend that beautifully, but this is the area that he struggled the most. He just doesn't have the turning circle. Hazard still gets held up and stays exactly as it was before this action started.
Yeah, Hazard had a chance. Sending it down there means you've got to get ahead. Ooh, almost lagging. That's straight into Hazard's eyes. Hazard's going to try around the outside. Is he? No, he's not. I thought he had a chance there. Bottom had a little bit of lag, but I think that caught Hazard out a little bit. Mason and Gooby have switched places. They have.
Yeah, I think that must have been up the. Yeah, exactly. I think that might have been coming out of Casino, like you're saying. I don't know how he would have done it because it's a really tough area to overtake in, but he's done it, and that's what matters. He's now into a points position and he's free. He's on the softer tyre, can absolutely gun it away now. I'm just looking to see where Blue is. Yeah, he's still P5, and he's actually in a position. Wait, Yonti's lost the place to Zerd.
That's bringing my prediction in quite well, isn't it?
How did that happen? Because Yonti hasn't got damage. Zerd was quite far away from the back of. I'm baffled by him. What's happened there?
Welcome to Monaco.
Right. Well, we'll have to keep an eye out and see if he can pull it back. He's definitely someone who we know can do it. He pulled it off earlier, and I expect him to try it again. But the gap now between the two drivers at the front, between Martin G and Zerd, is 7.2 seconds. And that, I think, what was it, 2.7 last time I talked about it? And now Martin G is really far off in the distance. All he has to do is drive time trial sort of pace, just get himself into that mindset of I'm just going to keep doing time trial, not necessarily going for the fastest laps, just going for consistency and cleanliness, and he's doing it. He's absolutely flying away. I'm still very much firmly holding onto wood. I don't want to damage anything. I don't want to commentators curse him, but it is definitely something Martin G can do right here.
Yeah, I'll keep my eyes on Hazard. He's on the back of Bob once again. He's going to try. No, not try. He's learned his lesson about that move.
The thing is, we commented that race that the situation happened between him and BK, and from our perspective, we obviously have our own opinions on it. We're not stewards, but I think this is one of the first few times that me and you've actually fully agreed on an incident and not had any sort of situation on it. I mean, we both went racing incident. I think we did, didn't we?
Yeah, I can't even wind you up on it because I'm in complete agreement. It doesn't often happen, folks. You've heard it here first. Me and Raggy agree on an incident.
Yeah, well, I think we need to change subject just before we start, messing with the balance of the universe. But
yeah,
Buemos is still under attack from Hazard. Hazard just cannot seem... Oh, a little bit of nudge there between the two. Nothing further. Buemos managed to keep himself under control. Hazard didn't get any damage as a result. Buemos actually gone really deep into that corner there. I say deep, he just went a bit understeering, couldn't carry the pace through it. He's looking... There's just no way that Hazard can get through. This is so difficult for him.
But this is working out really well for Blue, because Blue's done 22 laps on those mediums. Bowles has given up after 22 on his hards, and that little just held up of Hazard. Blue's only 7 seconds up the field, but when he comes in for a set of softs in, he can only really go for softs at this point. In, well, I think what, 5, 6 laps he's got to go.
Well, not quite. So they can actually do sort of 15-ish laps on the softs on this track. They're not that degrading on the softs overall.
Okay.
So they can actually do really, really quite well. And that's bear that in mind, that it's easily doable even when you've made a lot of mistakes going around the track. I mean, he's just made a mistake there. That locked up pretty hard going into the Nivelle chicane. He's not really helped himself at all there. But the other thing we've got to talk about is even if he does put himself onto those softs, I think he's going to be in a lot of trouble. So, I heard from the stewards, Martin G, crossing the pit exit to block Yonti will be investigated after the race.
Okay, seems fair. Well, it could be a quite important decision, so... Yeah. Blue's still not come in. His challenge dust is just there, but that's a lapping, so it's not really an issue. I'd say the action's dying down. I mean, it's still close out front, but they're not really battling. They're in procession. As you get
I have also been told what happened to Yonti. Apparently he had a big screen freeze which teleported him behind Zerd. So that is a big Lasad.
I wonder how Zerd is going to react at the end of the race. Is he going to let him back through? You do see it occasionally in the online racing, don't you? That they get let back if they've gained a position unfairly. They let him back through.
I think if Mizo wasn't so close to the back of Yonti, I think he probably would have absolutely let him back through. But you run the risk of, if you let Yonti back through, you immediately set yourself up for Mizo just slipping through there with him as well. And
unless you get your Jeff to get involved and talk to them all and say, look, we're letting him through because we gained a position unfairly. Please don't overtake us. And hopefully they can get a agreement on that. I mean, it's completely up to the drivers. I mean, if Zerd feels he's entitled to it, he may say, look, well, that's your fault, not mine.
I mean, there's no rule on it.
No.
Oh, 1 second. Meister's going for a move on Rainbow. This is going to be a really tough line to do if he wants to get it done, and he can't do it. Rainbow manages to defend it nicely. Still sits very nicely in P9. He's 22 laps in on these hards. I think he's actually going to try and take them all the way to the end of the race, but that's going to cost him. He's not really going to be in a great position, especially with the fact that Meister's all over the back of him.
Well, he's in a similar... Oh, a little nudge there from Meister. He's in a similar situation to Trap, if you think about it. All he's got to do is just finish the race. He's got only 6 seconds over Gooby. Gooby's on Raspberry Old Hearts. Just finish the race at the end of the day. That's your aim. And that is trying to repeat Tuesday. Let's look somewhere else quickly.
Meister did try it. There was nowhere for him to go. He knew that situation and how it usually pans out. And like I said, it is entirely a gamble for you to try and do that. It's just not an area of the track that is a surefire way of overtaking. If you do take the outside line and the driver you're overtaking makes a mistake, which happens quite a lot when drivers are under pressure, they make that mistake, run wide, easily put you into a wall, and whether intentional or not is a different story. But the one thing that's going well for Meister is that Rainbow does have a full front wing, so he has better grip, but this time Meister has got alongside of him. It's going to be a really tight one. They have little scraps all the way through there, and that's going to be Meister cutting the corner. Didn't get a penalty. I think he might have got a warning for it, but he has got the position, but he gives it back because he knows he overtook that off the track, and it's just not fair, but it doesn't stop him from being all over the back of him.
Well, you say it's not fair, but he was forced into that situation. So you can think of it, he was entitled to that place because Rainbow nudged him off track. As such, he had nowhere to go. He gained position as a result of it. It's not his fault. That's the thing, and Mason's now going to try one down the inside. There's definitely no room there. And that is Rainbow being nudged into the wall. And where's Mason? Gone.
Yeah, Meister's gone up the hill. I don't think he'll be waiting for this. No, he's definitely carried on. I think he knows he's going to be in trouble for that one. That was it was an attempt. You know, there's no doubt about it. He did go for it. He was praying that Rainbow would move out of the way. He was sort of like a prediction of thinking that Rainbow's going to move out of the way. Rainbow didn't move. Oh,
Oh, what's that
my
sound?
oh, there we go. My game froze there for a split second. I had a full 2 or 3 second screen freeze, but we're okay.
You're not listening.
Um, can you hear me?
No?
Can you hear me now?
Yep. I can hear you
Okay.
before, but I just said no.
That's mean.
Yeah.
Yeah, just talking about the incident again. So Rainbow, look, he was basically hoping that Rainbow would move a bit wide. And there was not really much that he could do. Rainbow held that line. There was never actually a car's width gap there for you to send your car into. So, you know, there was no opportunity for Mace to get through. Mace obviously tried anyway. There was a little nudge there into the back of Rainbow. Rainbow gets sent off into the runoff area. There's nothing more he could have done there, I think. And Rainbow did everything he could to damage limitate. He kept himself, didn't get any damage at all in his car, but he did lose 2 places as a result. One to Mesta and then another to Goomy.
Yeah, but he kept it out of the wall. That's the kind of the crucial part. And I think he might want to just, why not just bring us some bits now? That little off down there would have just taken an extra bit out of his tires, had a bit of heat. Hazard's got past Blue. Oh, no. They're side by side. I've got a terrible camera angle.
And Hazard backs out, lets him back through again. Blue takes the outside line. Good heads up driving there from Hazard. He knows exactly what he needs to do in order to sort of keep his wing alive and keep his racing hopes alive. And P6 right now is a really solid position. And just to go back to that incident between Rainbow and Meister, as you would expect, Meister is being investigated by the stewards as a result. Well, I mean, the incident's being investigated, should I say, not necessarily Meister, but Blue's in the pits now. He's now finally gone onto the softs. He's going to be doing 11 laps on them, and I think it's a good one.
Where's he coming out though? Is he coming out ahead of his teammate? No, he's coming out behind his teammate. Definitely ahead of Meister though. So
Yeah.
yeah, he's got a bit of work to do. Will his teammate let him through? Probably not now.
I don't know what. Yeah, I mean, they are both battling for position.
Yeah,
I think the
there's
thing
no
that.
stops.
Well, yeah, exactly. And I think the thing that Buemos is going to be thinking is, well, even if I do let you go to go and catch Sloppy, the likelihood is you're not going to pass him. So I don't.
Does
Maybe I
Bournemouth
shouldn't
let
leave
him
you.
go and say, look, if you don't get past them, give me the place back. They swapped earlier
Yeah.
through a team call when
Yeah.
Blue was on the mediums, One was on the hards. So they've done that swap already. So realistically, yeah, they're obviously in communication, so they can make the call. But is Blue even going to get close in the last 10 laps? Do you think he can?
I
close
think
up
he
a
will, you know.
15 gap second. I mean, Swap has some very old mediums, so.
I mean, the speed performance between softs and mediums is quite huge. You know, the mediums are sort of like at 1 and a bit seconds down on the soft tires. So, yeah, I mean, it's going to be a 15-second gap overall, but the confidence you get from the softs means you can actually push that a lot harder than a second, because you'd be a lot slower when you're on the medium tires overall. But we'll keep an eye. We'll see how he does. It's 4.6 seconds as it is right now between him and his teammate. It's already down to 4.5, and we'll see how quickly Blue can catch up to him.
Yeah, first things first, he's got to get up to the back of balls. It's not going to take long, but he's got to get there first of all, and not take too much out of the tyres. He's got to do 10 laps on these. I know you said they could do 15, but if you're going racing and doing high-paced laps, they are not going to last 15 laps.
No.
Particularly if you get in some dirty air.
So Mizzo is on the back
Still
of
there.
Yonti, has been for a little while. Yonti's actually in a position where he's bringing himself closer and closer to Zerd again, and this is good stuff from Yonti. It's good to see him having that level of pace, and we're seeing over the last few races we've commentated on him, this is a whole different Yonti. 2019 Yonti is just incredible. He's really delivering, and I want to see more from him like this throughout the rest of the season, and maybe even get himself some wins in RNL.
Yeah, hopefully. I mean, what was my prediction? I had Mercedes 1-2. Did I have Yonti third?
Think you did.
Oh.
Think you did.
I can't.
I can't remember what my prediction was. I can't remember if
what I
I.
went for, and then you had Yeltek, I believe.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
I said Martin G. I think Martin G's Diolter. I think I said. And
No, you didn't go Zerd.
who was it?
I think it was Yonti second, then Yeltek. I wrote this down in the past. I should start writing it down again.
You should, because now I've forgotten.
I mean, if I get a full prediction, 3 right, in Monaco, I think you have to hail me the chief forever.
Hail you as the chief.
A chief of predictions.
Oh, okay.
Because to get it
You know
right
what? I will
Monaco,
give you that.
it's just
You know, if they do
ridiculous.
it, I will hail you as the chief of predictions. You're the stats man and the chief of predictions if you get the 100% prediction. But
It's a big if.
there's still 8 laps to go yet, and
Yep.
it can very easily change at the drop of a hat. Yonti is trying his best to defend from Mizzo. Mizzo's trying his best to attack him, but at the same time, Yonti wants to close in onto the back of Zerd in case Zerd makes a mistake. The gap between the two Mercedes drivers has just been dented a little bit as Martin G just got a 3-second time penalty. I think that's his second, so he has 6 seconds of penalties. Zerd is actually in with a shot now of actually closing up to take that position from him.
Yeah, well, he's just closed up another 10th there and just dropped it again. He's got to be careful though, Zed. If Yonti closes up behind too much and starts attacking Zed, then Zed's going to fall back a little bit. So he needs to stay well out of range of Yonti. And Yonti needs to stay well out of range of Mizzo. I saw Bommels and Blue have made the switch. So 8 seconds
Interesting.
to go there. Do you reckon they'll switch back at the end? If there was a team order switch, I didn't see the overtake, but to suddenly go from passing to 2-second lead, I think it must have been team order.
I don't think there's going to be a reason to, and I say that purely on the basis that Blue is catching up to the back of Sloppy very quickly, and Sloppy's 24 laps in on these mediums, so his lap times are going to be pretty poor anyway. There's a yellow flag there in sector 2. There's a slow car on the home straight. Who was that? That can't be Sloppy already, surely.
Gooby's out. Where is that? That's 28 seconds away from Marco. It's not a pit lane retirement, that's for sure.
No, I reckon it's going to be the left turn after the Nivelle chicane. Well, the yellow flag's here, and it's
It
green
is
flag
there.
there, so it must have been at the Nivelle chicane, yeah.
Yeah, it was the last part of the Nouveau. I think he must have just clipped the wall on the left or the right, taken a wheel off. As he's gone.
Oh, can you imagine if a safety car came now? That would literally ruin Martin G's race.
Mizzo's in the pits. He's given up.
Well, I don't think he has. I think he's going for the fastest lap because he's got
Yeah,
a
but
free
he's
pit
given
stop
up
on
at
Hazard.
10th. He's given up going for Yonti. That's what I mean. Sorry.
Oh, yeah.
Is he coming? He is coming. Did he get a nose change as well?
I think he did. Hazard might actually pass him now. Then this is going to be a tough one to pull off. Hazard is flying down. Mizzo's still coming out of the pit lane. He's not actually. Yeah, there's Hazard right now. This is going to be a tough one. I don't think he's actually going to be able to do it. I think Hazard's clean. He's done it.
Yeah. But Mizzo is now on fresh tyres.
Yeah.
But again, another but is Monaco.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a tough one. I mean, overtaking here is just so difficult, and it's realistically, it's one of them sort of races where it just makes it. It's full of suspense because the drivers are just chasing the other drivers the whole time, and the amount of pressure that they face is just tremendous. So the fact that like now Mizzo, brand spanking new softs, has a very quick Red Bull in front of him, but is 22 laps in on those mediums. It's just going to be so hard for him to defend it. As soon as Mizzo's tyres warm up, which will be sort of any second now, Mizzo's going to be looking to just bullet away past him.
Look up from Hazard there going into the Nivelle chicane. Mizzo will be eyeing him up. Do you think he's going to go for around the outside into turn 1?
It would be
Continue the
hilarious. It would be, yeah, the meme needs to stay, it needs to land, and now we're coming up to it. This is really where it's going to come down to it. Mizzo needs to get the better exit. It looks like he did. He's already in mode 4 and looking for it now. This is it. This is going to be taking the outside line. Although Hazard got faked out by it, went for the inside. There's contact between the two of them, and that's Hazard. Just turned in a little bit too early there. Puts them both in towards the wall. That's Hazard again having another turn 1 drama. We joked about it, but it actually happened. Mizzo has given the position back. Hazard is still ahead, and it's going to be again.
Hazard has
Has he got left side damage?
Yeah, big. And so is Mizzo actually. Mizzo's got front left damage, and Sloppy's suddenly come into this, which means Blue's going to be coming into this. Where I just want to see Mizzo's front. Yeah, Mizzo's front left gone. Hazard's front left gone. Sloppy's front left still there. Blue's front left, I believe, still there. Yeah, still there.
If Blue catches up to this could be a very exciting final few laps.
Well, I mean, Sloppy's still there. Don't rule him out yet. Just because he's on 27 lap old tyres, you've got to have it. He does have a full front wing.
He does, but he has a Red Bull that's injured and limping around the track at the minute. And you know, Mizzo, whilst he does have similar amounts of damage, he is able to just carry on.
He's gone. He's 3 seconds up the field already. So we'll see, won't we? I mean, Sloppy didn't get the drive off the corner, but he has got a lot of fuel to play with at the moment. We're on 35 and 39, by the way. We're getting towards the end.
Yeah, it's a tough one. I mean, I feel bad for the stewards because they're going to be having a really tough time. And they did actually just get in touch a short while ago regarding Meister and advised that the not that incident between him and Hazard, the one earlier before that is going to be investigated after the race. I'm trying to remember which one it was. It was the one between him and Rainbow where he sent Rainbow off into the runoff area. That was. And now the turn one incident between Mizzo and Hazard is under investigation.
I think, are they just going to say all incidents will be investigated after the race now? It's getting towards that point of the race.
I think
with a penalty is going to be big.
Oh, Blue's coming in here on Sloppy. That was a real send-it move there. Sloppy got a penalty as a result of being sent a bit deeper. I imagine that one will probably get relinquished. I don't think that one's going to be carried through. So he may pass him physically on the track, but that 3-second time penalty might be removed. So I don't know what their penalty looked like outside of that one. But overall, realistically, this is where it's going to come down to now. Is this going to be a change of situation between the two of them? Again, Blue's quick, but Sloppy has DRS as well, so there's no DRS benefit. It's only down to the slipstream and the grip that he's got on these tyres. He's going to need to... Oh, big contact! Blue just sent him off into the wall. There was damage there on Sloppy's car. I think that Blue is going to be in a bit of trouble after that one.
Blue will be feeding Blue after the race, I suspect. But... I mean, that's helped Balls out a little bit. Balls is now only 1 second off the back of Sloppy. Sloppy's got old tyres and front wing damage. Does he pit? No, I think it's the simple answer. But it is Monaco at the same time. Old tyres and no wing. It's a double-edged sword.
Spells DNF.
Yeah. If he does pit, he'll only lose out to Maestay, he won't lose out to Rainbow. Rainbow's too far gone. This is an interesting call.
Yeah. Or Blue already on the back of Hazard. I mean, he's pushing, there's no doubt about it. He's really giving it absolutely everything, but it's cost him. He's already had damage as a result of it, and that's just not the situation you want to be in. Hazard is trying his best to pull away, but he can't do anything about it. Blue's looking for an inside that was not going to be coming. There's contact between the two. Hazard just broke a little bit earlier there.
Hazard has
he does.
And he gets a great drive off the corner as Hazard. And easily hold this one. This time around, yellow is set to 1. That's
right. Okay. I'm astounded by the situation. Martin G has driven an exceptional race. He managed to snatch the pole away, and then at the beginning of the race just ran off, and that was it. There was a chase that happened later on. Once Martin G was held back by Buemels, we thought there was going to be more scrapping than there was between the three of them, but it ended up being just people just slowly but surely making their way past Buemels. And once Buemels was passed by Martin G, everyone else got held back. And that's why you saw Yonti get stuck behind Zerd, and Zerd couldn't do much about it. Now the thing to think about is Yonti did lose P2 as a result of the contact earlier, and I've just been informed by the stewards that all further incidents will be investigated after the race. There's just a lot going on at the minute for the stewards, and they can't really provide the live steward response because of how thick and fast they're coming in. They want to give it full attention. Here comes Blue. That was a send it, but he didn't work out. He had to back out just to make sure he didn't kill Hazard. He already knows he's going to be in trouble for the situation he had earlier on Sloppy, and now he needs to make sure his exit is smooth as silk if he wants to get Hazard here. He's gone for mode 3, which tells me he's not really looking to push here. He's just trying to keep the gap close and then see if he can attack somewhere else on the track.
Running out of rest though if he wants to attack. I know that's not normal for anyone here at Monaco, but he is. He's on 15%. We're on 38 39. The race is going to start the final lap very shortly. Actually, Martin G is starting the final lap right now.
Yeah, Martin G. I mean, I want to go on board with him if I could, but I can't look away from this action that's going on right here. All 4 cars are all stacked up together. This is just really starting to get a little bit a little bit too tense for these drivers. I'm not sure what they're going to necessarily be doing to try and recover this. Sloppy McFloppy's got the injury earlier from Blue's contact. I think it was a bit... it's definitely Blue. Oh, another nudge there. Blue just seems to be getting caught out by it, but here he is looking for an inside line. This is going to be tight. This is going to be tense. Who's going to pull it off? It's not going to be Blue, and Hazard holds on to P5, at least for now. There's still a few corners left to go for them to start their final lap. Oh, and he's looking for it. He's gone down the inside. There's contact as well between the two. He's just forced his way through. Sloppy just slams into the back of Blue, and he's also through a big crash. I don't know how Hazard is still alive. That was enormous, and Hazard falls further and further down the order. He's lost 3 places, and honestly, I think that was a bit aggressive there from Blue, and then Sloppy just followed it up.
Yeah, I mean, I was going to be asking you a question about if Blue didn't get past Hazard on this lap, would he just let Sloppy back through and Bobbles back through? I think he's in a situation now. Does he just let these 3 guys back through? So sorry to you guys, Bobbles, thanks for letting me through, but have the position back. It's like, yeah, I'm sorry guys, just take the position. And try and get away without penalties.
I don't think so. I think he's going to be dished that penalty regardless. I think at this point now, I think you just cross the line and then take it. But we have, the race is over. Martin G has taken the win. Zerd has taken a solid P2. Yonti's taken 3rd place. Mizzo will eventually come across the line and take 4th. There it is. Blue, who is likely going to be in trouble through a few incidents here today. He's going to cross the line in 5th, but I think it's a very provisional 5th because, yeah, when the stewards get hold of him, I think he's going to be I don't think he's going to be able to sit down for a little while just because of how sore his bum's going to be when he gets a smacked bum. But here he is across the line. Sloppy will come across afterwards. There he falls right the way down, but still comes ahead. Oh, Hazard does Hazard things and still jumps back up to P5.
Hazard, stop it. So
I don't think I've ever seen that. I don't think I've ever seen someone get taken. Well, I mean, it's effectively taken out, really, wasn't it? He didn't get DNF'd, but he did get put into a wall and somehow stayed alive. But anyway, here it is. Look, Mercedes 1-2 just to keep things on track with how it is in real life nowadays. But Yonti takes 3rd place. I don't know whether or not they were going to swap that back around again. I doubt it, to be honest. I think it is going to finish exactly how it is for the podium, at least. But Martin G, I mean, what an exceptional driver. He's really, really impressed me today. And I'm going to ask you a question. I'm pretty sure it's going to be the easiest question for you today.
No, it's
Who
not.
is your driver of the day?
That's not the easiest question. Because
Why
Martin
isn't
G
it?
just won it. He got 6-second penalties. I mean, Zerd did a phenomenal job to get it up from 6th to 2nd. Hazard had so many issues and still got 5th. No penalties. Blue started 19th, ended at 8th. Yes, okay, he had a lot of penalties and probably was going to get a big kick in the boot post-race. It's not a simple question as, yeah, Martin G wins it. It's not that simple.
Well, I've already made my decision as to who the driver of the day is. And I think it's Hazard.
Oh, you go for Hazard? I thought you were going for Martin G. That's why you were talking.
I was going to go with Martin G. But then I thought about it a little bit further and thought he had 2 lots of 3-second penalties, and it is Monaco. But Hazard, P10 started, jumped back up to P5, even survived an execution, and it was incredible. But yeah, exactly. Here's the rundown though, as the time is ticking away. Martin G takes the win with Zerd in P2, Yonti P3, Mizzo P4, Hazard P5, Sloppy P6, Buemmels 7th, Blue 8th, Maester 9th, Rainbow takes 10th. Marco, Shadows and Dust, and Trap are the remainder of the finishes, and then your DNFs were Gooby, Copy, Yolta, Beaker, Fossetti, and Nickton, and Yawn. So that is it for the Rwagnation League. Thank you so much as always for being here and spectating that race. And Amcasa, thank you as always for commentating with me. You are a lad. And we'll see you guys next week for the Canadian Grand Prix. Although we're not actually going anywhere. We're